But I'm saying that regulations are important for the country under the lockdown, and we want to thank everybody who basically obeyed. And the statistics tell us a story that when you obey the law, we can go very far. And in this instance, you know, South Africans from all walks of life heeded the call to stay at home, and they continue to do that. As you can see, that there are no major cars, congestion on the road, and even when we go back to normal situation, the campaign 365 days wire, keep safe on the road will actually continue.
Okay, let's talk about post the lockdown. Of course, it has been extended now, but what happens post it? Will some of these regulations still stand, especially when it comes to issues of public transport, taxis to be in particular, as well as trains and buses? Will these regulations still extend beyond the lockdown?
Well, the regulations may not extend beyond the lockdown, but the lockdown have taught us something. Of course, we've got a big challenge in terms of trains and the congestion there, which is what we need to undermine, because as we continue to fight the scourge of coronavirus, trains are going to be the major contributor to the spread of the virus, and we can't allow that. We've got to keep the numbers, we've got to enforce the law and all of that, but we'll deal with those issues as we deal with easing going forward in terms of the readjustment mitigation as the president have directed. So by next week, and as we speak, our teams are doing a lot of work, and that goes also for those responsible for rail, to ensure that we are able to maintain a semblance of organization and bringing the numbers down. That thing of riding on top of the trains and all of that is not going to work. It's not going to work if we were to contain this virus, and if we were to allow the trains to come back to operation.
Just finally, Minister, there were some amendments that were made to the regulations in so far as transport is confirmed. What are some of those that you have made?
Well, that relates to the cargo. You know that we don't keep cargo in the warehouses, but we've got to clear the cargo that is there in the sea. We have allowed the cargo overall. Initially it was essential, but now all cargo trade means it can actually continue, except for alcohol, that include wines. That will be prohibited, but everything that is in our ports will be cleared. As we are continuing to do that, the regulations actually allow that.
Okay, thank you very much for your time, Minister Mbalula. Fikile Mbalula speaking to us there. He's the Transport Minister, of course. They released the stats this morning. Of course, he says that the lockdown has helped to reduce the fatalities on the road, and they're saying that some of those regulations will be eased after the lockdown. Let's take it back to you, Yuveka, in studio.
All right, Mangoba, we'll leave you to the drama that is happening there. Indeed, it's very scary as well. Somebody with just a learners who is driving a taxi, attempting to transport others. It is indeed shocking and scary.